Hello and welcome to this video. Today is the 6th of November 2022. Following 3 unsuccessful launch attempts for Artemis 1, NASA's 4th launch attempt is currently planned to be on the 14th of November. And the Orion module will return to Earth on the 9th of December. This is a 25-day mission which is now shorter than the original 42 days. This 4th video in my series supports my previous 3 videos where I explained in video 1 what I found when I decoded the inside and the main rings of the Orion parachute. In video 2, how I decoded it, very simple, easy to follow explanation. And in video 3, why the meaning of this code was relevant to the Artemis moon mission. Each of these 3 previous videos are around 2 to 3 minutes each in length and worth a watch as a foundation to this 4th video. In video 1, I shared my screen grab, which I took from a BBC pre-launch video that explained the key stages of the forthcoming Artemis 1 mission. For a split second, 4 identical Orion parachutes are shown. In my previous videos, I explained how I solved the 2 main rings inside of this parachute. Looking back at its original source image, it is notable there are 3 more rings to this parachute that are partially visible. And here is my illustration of rings 1 and 2. My previous analysis, videos 1 to 3, solved the inside ring that spelt the word I4 and the second ring spelt the word tower, and I concluded that this was to recognise the ESA's contribution to NASA's moon mission. In this video, I now analysed and solved the 3rd, 4th and 5th rings in order to complete the full picture of this parachute. The 3rd ring is partially visible. Here is a zoomed in image. Remember that all 4 parachutes are the same. It is possible to see the solid red bar in this ring. As mentioned in my previous videos, this indicates where the code starts, shown here with the white box, and the code moves clockwise around this parachute. Likewise, the top section of the same solid red bar can be seen, and this indicates the end of the pattern for this ring, shown here at the point of the blue box in the picture. It's interesting to see that this section is not shown on any of the parachutes and once more supports my theory that its exact image was deliberate and carefully designed in order for the 3rd ring to be solved. Now, transposing this start point of the 3rd ring onto the adjacent parachute, which is bottom right of the screen grab, the 10 blocks need to be counted. Since these columns aren't clear in the image, it is possible to count these using the position of the 10 blocks from the 1st ring. Using the 1st ring as a guide, I can mark 10 block segments onto the 3rd ring as shown in this picture. The inside 1st ring helps to mark 5 full blocks of 10 onto the 3rd ring. After the 5th block, there isn't a complete block, where the solid red bar marks the end point. This means that the 3rd ring contains enough space for a 5-letter word. A careful look at the screen grab, I was able to see the first 20 marks from the start point, i.e. 2 complete blocks of 10 on the 3rd ring. This is shown by the green boxes. The other marks in the 3rd ring cannot be seen. Using my decoding technique, see my second video how to decode, the 2 sets of binary numbers as shown for these 2 sections can be converted into 2 letters. These sections on the 3rd ring represent 2 letters P and A. Even though I was able to solve the 2 sections of the 3rd ring as P and A, and these are the first 2 letters of a 5-letter word, the 3 unseen 10-section blocks of the parachute therefore must be R, I and S to spell the word Paris. With my solution, I converted these letters into binary, working backwards through my decoding technique, again as seen in my second video, and inserted these as red, white marks into the picture to complete the pattern of the 3rd ring. Here I show the 4th ring. The white blocks in the picture highlight the only sections of this parachute that are visible from the screen grab. No other sections of the 4th ring are visible. All of the areas in this picture are white with no red marks. Since there are 80 possible marks and not a single space shown here as red, then it is likely that this represents a thin white border between the separation of the 3rd and 5th rings. This is consistent with the Perseverance design, where the 4th ring is a thin white border. Therefore, the Orion parachute now looks like this. And this picture shows my full solution for the red-white patterns of the first 4 rings. The fifth ring of the Orion parachute was a lot more challenging. All that can be seen for the fifth ring are shown here by the boxes. Since all of the parachutes are the same in the screen grab, the three purple boxes represent the same marks, and there are other two marks shown by the blue and white box. This meant that I had three distinct marks to work from. Also, there is no solid red block where to start. Since, as explained earlier, this image was deliberate. This meant that either it was on the far side of the parachute and not able to be seen, and if this was, then the solution would be impossible, or there was no defined start and end point, i.e. all 80 blocks were used in the fifth ring, and that the fifth ring consisted of an 8-letter word. This latter point was more likely and worth exploring. Here I show what can be seen in the only visible section of the fifth ring. One full block of 10 reading clockwise, and as you see top right, 3 small marks. But if the code of 10 was correct, then it's impossible to convert this into a letter, as this code represented the number 50. This led me to think that the fifth ring included numbers, and therefore wasn't an 8-letter word, but a series of digits. In my third video, I made reference to the Perseverance lander. I looked up the location of the ESA headquarters, and a longitude and latitude contains number 50. I completed the fifth ring with the 8 digits from the longitude and latitude, and when I rotated the fifth ring in my image to match the position of the 10-block code shown in this image, it was also pleasing to see that the 3 marks also lined up perfectly as shown by the top right parachute. This full solution supports my original conclusion from video 3 that the Orion parachute was designed to recognise ESA's significant involvement in the Artemis moon mission and the Orion module. I now just need NASA and ESA to read the emails I have sent them explaining my finding, analysis and solution. If you happen to know anyone in NASA or the ESA, please give them a nudge for me. So, here is my full solution to the Orion parachute and all of its 5 rings that spell out the words Eiffel Tower, Paris, and the longitude, latitude locations of the ESA headquarters. What is interesting to see is that all of the words line up neatly as indicated by the solid black lines on the parachute. As mentioned earlier in this video, Artemis is expected to launch on the 14th of November, and it'd be interesting to see when the Orion module returns on the 9th of December, the visible pattern. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more follow-up videos shortly.